Welcome back to Narrative Network. What if a single act of kindness could change not just one life, but countless others? This is the incredible story of a young boy who was saved from drowning by a brave woman, a moment that shaped his destiny. 20 years later, he becomes a wealthy and successful man, and his journey to repay her act of selflessness leads to an emotional and life-changing revelation. Stay until the end to witness the full circle of gratitude and kindness. How does one act of courage create ripples that transform the lives of thousands? If this story moves you, don't forget to like, comment, and share your thoughts below. And make sure to subscribe for more inspiring stories like this one. Let's dive into this unforgettable tale of bravery, gratitude, and the power of paying it forward. The warm summer sun danced on the surface of the river, casting rippling patterns across the water. 12-year-old Liam Parker stood on the bank, skipping stones with his friends. The laughter and playful teasing filled the air as the boys competed to see who could make the stones bounce the most times. But Liam wasn't paying attention. Daring to impress his friends, he waded deeper into the river, his focus on a shiny object glinting just below the surface. He didn't notice the strong current creeping up on him. One moment he was laughing, the next he was swept off his feet, the river's pull dragging him under. Liam thrashed, panic overtaking him as water filled his lungs. His friends screamed for help, but none of them were brave enough to dive in. Just as the world began to fade into darkness, strong arms encircled him, pulling him from the river's grasp. When Liam came to, he found himself lying on the riverbank, coughing up water. A woman knelt beside him, her hands trembling as she checked him over. "Are you all right, sweetheart?" she asked, her voice shaky but kind. Liam nodded weakly, his vision clearing. The woman was in her late 30s, her face framed by damp, dark curls. Her name was Clara Lewis, a schoolteacher who had been taking a walk when she heard the commotion. "Thank you," Liam croaked, his voice barely audible. Clara smiled, relief washing over her. "You're safe now." Clara stayed with Liam until his parents arrived. Overwhelmed with gratitude, they thanked her profusely, tears streaming down their faces. But Clara brushed off their thanks, insisting she was just in the right place at the right time. "I'm just glad he's okay," she said, waving goodbye as she walked away. For Liam, the incident left a profound impression. He didn't know much about Clara, but her act of bravery stayed with him, a spark of inspiration that he would carry through his life. The years went by, and Liam grew into a determined and ambitious young man. The near-death experience had taught him to value life and cherish second chances. He worked hard, excelling in school, and eventually earning a scholarship to study business at a prestigious university. Liam's drive to succeed was fueled by the memory of Clara's selflessness. He often wondered about her, curious about where life had taken her. But as he moved from one phase of his life to the next, the demands of his career kept him too busy to search for her. By the time Liam reached his early 30s, he was a successful entrepreneur. His tech company, Parker Innovations, had revolutionized the way people connected and worked. He was wealthy, respected, and admired by many. Yet, amidst all the success, he couldn't shake the feeling that he owed a debt he hadn't yet repaid. One rainy evening, Liam attended a charity gala in his hometown. The event was raising funds for local education initiatives, a cause close to his heart. As he mingled with the guests, a familiar name caught his attention. "And Clara Lewis has been an absolute pillar of this community," one of the speakers said. "Her dedication to her students and her selfless spirit are an inspiration to us all." Liam's heart skipped a beat. Could it be the same Clara Lewis who had saved him all those years ago? After the speech, Liam approached the speaker and asked about Clara. He learned that she was still a teacher, working at a small, underfunded school on the outskirts of town. She had dedicated her life to helping others, often using her own money to provide for her students. Liam knew he had to find her. The next day, Liam visited Clara's school. He found her in a modest classroom surrounded by eager children. She was older now, her hair streaked with gray, but her warmth and kindness were unmistakable. "Mrs. Lewis?" Liam said, his voice filled with emotion. Clara turned, her eyes widening in recognition. "Liam, is that you?" He nodded, a smile spreading across his face. "It's me. I've been wanting to thank you properly for what you did all those years ago." Clara waved him off, just as she had done with his parents. "There's no need for thanks. I was just glad I could help." But Liam was determined. "You didn't just save my life," he said. "You gave me the chance to become who I am today. I owe you everything." Over the next few weeks, Liam spent time getting to know Clara better. He visited her school often, learning about the challenges she faced as a teacher in an underfunded district. The classrooms were outdated, the supplies were scarce, and many of the students struggled with difficult home lives. Liam knew he had found the perfect way to repay Clara's kindness. He decided to use his resources to transform her school and ensure that her students had the opportunities they deserved. He started by donating enough money to renovate the school, bringing in new technology, updated textbooks, and modern facilities. But Liam didn't stop there. He established the Clara Lewis Scholarship Fund, providing financial aid to students who wanted to pursue higher education. Clara was overwhelmed by Liam's generosity. "I never expected anything in return," she said, tears in her eyes. "But what you're doing for these kids, it's more than I could have ever dreamed." "It's the least I can do," Liam replied. "Your kindness saved my life, and now it's my turn to pay it forward." The impact of Liam's efforts was immediate. Attendance at the school improved, and the students flourished with access to new resources. Clara's scholarship fund enabled many to attend college, breaking cycles of poverty and creating new opportunities. The story of Liam and Clara's connection spread, inspiring others to contribute to the school and support similar initiatives in their communities. It was a testament to how one act of kindness could create ripples that touched countless lives. Years later, Liam and Clara stood together at a ceremony dedicating the school's new library, named in Clara's honor. As they cut the ribbon, Clara turned to Liam with a smile. "You've done so much, Liam. You've given these kids a future." "So did you," Liam replied. "You taught me that one person's kindness can change everything." "I'm just trying to live up to that." As they watched the students explore the new library, Clara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Her simple act of saving a boy in the river had led to a legacy that would endure for generations. Liam and Clara's story didn't just stay within their community. Local newspapers featured the transformation of Clara's school, and soon, national media picked up the tale. Interviews with Liam and Clara highlighted the power of paying kindness forward and how one moment of bravery could ripple through countless lives. During one televised interview, Clara humbly reflected, "I didn't think about what might happen when I jumped into that river. I just saw a child in need and did what felt right. Seeing what Liam has done for this school and these students, it's more than I ever imagined." Liam, sitting beside her, added, "Her act of courage gave me a second chance at life. Now, I see it as my responsibility to pass that gift on to others." Inspired by their story, philanthropists and organizations across the country reached out to replicate Liam's initiatives in underfunded schools. Clara and Liam were invited to speak at conferences and events, sharing their experience to inspire others to act with kindness and compassion. Despite the newfound attention, Clara remained grounded. She continued teaching, though her role gradually shifted to mentoring young educators. Her warmth and wisdom made her an invaluable resource for teachers navigating the challenges of working in underprivileged schools. One young teacher, Emily, sought Clara's guidance during a particularly tough year. "How do you stay so hopeful when things feel impossible?" Emily asked one afternoon. Clara smiled gently. "You focus on the lives you're touching, no matter how small it seems. Every act of care and kindness adds up. You may not see the results right away, but trust me, they're there. Emily nodded, inspired by Clara's words. Years later, Emily would go on to open her own school, citing Clara as the person who had shaped her philosophy on education and compassion. Liam's efforts didn't stop with Clara's school. He launched a nationwide initiative called the Ripple Fund, aimed at supporting underserved communities through education, mentorship, and financial assistance. The fund worked closely with schools, nonprofits, and local leaders to identify areas of need and create tailored solutions. Under the Ripple Fund, Liam spearheaded programs to provide scholarships, build libraries, and develop after-school programs for children in low-income neighborhoods. Each project was designed to create opportunities and inspire others to give back. To honor Clara's influence, Liam established Clara Lewis Centers for Education and Leadership in various cities. These centers provided resources for students, training for teachers, and community spaces for families. 10 years after the library dedication, Liam and Clara attended a reunion at the school. Former students, many of whom had benefited from the scholarships and programs, gathered to celebrate the school's continued success. Some had become doctors, engineers, artists, and teachers, each carrying forward the values of kindness and perseverance instilled by Clara and Liam. During the event, Malik, one of the school's alumni, approached Clara and Liam with a broad smile. "I don't know if you remember me," he said, "but I was part of the first group of students who got scholarships from the fund. Now I'm a teacher here and I get to help kids the same way you helped me." Clara's eyes glistened with tears. "I couldn't be prouder," she said. Malik handed them a framed photo of the graduating class with a note that read, "Thank you for believing in us." As Liam and Clara drove home from the reunion, they reflected on how far they had come. "I never imagined my life would turn out this way," Liam admitted. "Back then, I was just a scared kid trying to stay afloat. You gave me so much more than my life, Clara. You gave me purpose." Clara reached over and patted his hand. "And you gave me something just as valuable. You showed me that kindness doesn't end with one act. It grows, like a ripple in the water." Even after Clara's passing, her influence continued to expand in unexpected ways. The Clara Lewis Centers became a global model for educational reform, inspiring communities to prioritize education, mentorship, and opportunities for underserved populations. Each center featured a plaque with Clara's favorite saying, "Kindness is the seed from which greatness grows." Liam, now in his 40s, had evolved from an ambitious entrepreneur to a renowned philanthropist and global leader. Despite his busy schedule, he never lost touch with the people and communities his initiatives supported. He frequently visited schools, mentoring students, and sharing the story of the woman who had saved him and inspired his life's mission. One day, Liam was invited to speak at a small rural school in Kenya, where a Clara Lewis Center had recently opened. The school had been struggling for years, and the new center had brought hope and opportunity to the students. As Liam toured the facility, he met a young girl named Amina, who reminded him of himself at her age, curious, bright, and full of potential. Amina shared her dreams of becoming a doctor and how the center had given her access to the resources she needed to excel. When Liam told her about Clara, Amina listened intently, her eyes wide with admiration. "One act of kindness can do all of this?" she asked. "Yes," Liam replied with a smile, "and now it's up to all of us to keep it going." Amina's story became a symbol of the global reach of Clara's legacy, proving that kindness could transcend borders and change lives in ways no one could have imagined. On the 10th anniversary of Clara's passing, Liam organized a global day of service in her honor. Volunteers from around the world participated in activities ranging from building libraries to mentoring students and cleaning up communities. The event, dubbed Kindness Day, became an annual tradition, uniting people from all walks of life in a shared mission to make the world a better place. During the inaugural Kindness Day, Liam visited the river where Clara had saved his life so many years ago. Standing by the water's edge, he placed a bouquet of flowers on a small memorial stone dedicated to her bravery. "I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you," Liam said softly. "But more importantly, neither would the thousands of lives you've touched through your kindness." As Liam grew older, he began preparing the next generation to carry on the work he and Clara had started. He established a leadership program within the Ripple Fund, mentoring young leaders who shared his passion for creating positive change. One of his mentees, a young woman named Elena, stood out for her dedication and innovative ideas. Elena had grown up in one of the communities supported by the Clara Lewis Centers, and she credited the program with giving her the tools to succeed. During a mentoring session, Elena told Liam, "I want to dedicate my life to helping others, just like you and Clara did. I want to be part of something bigger than myself." Liam smiled, feeling a sense of pride and fulfillment. "You already are, Elena, and I have no doubt you'll inspire others to do the same." In his later years, Liam wrote a book about his journey titled The Ripple of Kindness. The memoir recounted his near-death experience, Clara's heroic act, and the extraordinary chain of events that followed. The book became a bestseller, inspiring readers worldwide to embrace the power of kindness and pay it forward. One day, while signing copies of his book at a charity event, Liam met a young man who introduced himself as the great-grandson of one of Clara's former students. The man shared how Clara's influence had shaped his family for generations. "My grandmother always said Clara taught her to believe in herself," the man said. "That belief carried through to my mother and now to me. Your story keeps her memory alive." Liam was deeply moved. "Clara's legacy isn't just her own," he said. "It's all of ours now." In the final years of his life, Liam began laying the groundwork for the future of the Ripple Fund and the global movement it had inspired. He believed that Clara's lesson, that kindness could change lives and create ripples of transformation, needed to endure far beyond his lifetime. To ensure this, Liam established the Clara and Liam Foundation, a global organization dedicated to promoting education, mentorship, and acts of kindness. The foundation became the parent organization for all the Clara Lewis Centers, the Ripple Fund, and Kindness Day activities around the world. Liam also created a leadership council made up of educators, community leaders, and young changemakers like Elena to oversee the foundation's work. He believed in empowering the next generation to take the reins and continue expanding the mission. "I've done my part," Liam told Elena during their final meeting. "Now it's up to you and everyone else we've inspired to carry this forward. Never forget where it all started, with a single act of courage and kindness." Elena nodded, her eyes glistening. "We won't let you down, Liam. Clara's legacy, and yours, will live on." On the 50th anniversary of the day Clara saved Liam from the river, a grand tribute was held at the original Clara Lewis Center in their hometown. Thousands of people attended, including students, educators, leaders, and families whose lives had been touched by the movement. The event featured testimonials, performances, and a documentary about Clara's life and the incredible chain of events her act of bravery had set in motion. The highlight of the ceremony was the unveiling of a life-sized statue of Clara, standing by the riverbank as if ready to help someone in need. At the base of the statue, an inscription read, "To Clara Lewis, whose kindness saved a life and whose courage changed the world." Liam, now in his 80s, stood with Elena and the Leadership Council as the crowd applauded. Though frail, he felt a deep sense of peace. He knew that everything he and Clara had worked for was in good hands. As time went on, the Clara and Liam Foundation expanded to every corner of the globe. Kindness Day became a universal holiday, celebrated by people of all cultures and backgrounds. The Clara Lewis Centers continued to empower students and communities, ensuring that the values of compassion, courage, and service were passed on to future generations. The movement also inspired countless spin-off initiatives, from environmental conservation projects to global peace-building efforts. People everywhere embraced the idea that one small act of kindness could ripple outward, creating a better world for all. In his final days, Liam returned to the river where it all began. Sitting on a bench near the water, he watched as children played along the banks, their laughter filling the air. A young boy approached him, holding a flower he had picked. "Are you Mr. Parker?" the boy asked, his voice shy. Liam smiled. "Yes, I am." "My teacher told us about you and Ms. Clara," the boy said. "She said you helped a lot of people." Liam's heart swelled. It wasn't just me. It was all of us working together. The boy handed him the flower. "Thank you for making things better." As the boy ran back to his friends, Liam gazed at the river, his mind filled with memories. He thought of Clara and how her simple, selfless act had shaped his life. He thought of the countless lives they had touched together and the legacy that would continue to grow. With a contented smile, Liam whispered, "Thank you, Clara." When Liam passed away peacefully a few weeks later, the world mourned the loss of a man whose life had been a testament to the power of gratitude and kindness. Tributes poured in from every corner of the globe, celebrating his unwavering dedication to making the world a better place. Elena and the Leadership Council ensured that the Foundation's mission continued to thrive. They launched new initiatives, expanded Clara Lewis Centers to even more communities, and kept the memory of Clara and Liam alive through stories, events, and education. Generations later, their legacy remained strong. Children in classrooms around the world learned about the ripple effect of kindness, and people everywhere were inspired to take action, knowing that even the smallest gesture could create waves of change. And so, the ripples that began with Clara's bravery and Liam's gratitude never ceased, spreading outward endlessly, touching hearts and changing lives for eternity. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and heartwarming content. Share this video with your friends and family to spread the message of kindness and gratitude. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video.